Welcome back. 1900s wooden Carpenters toolbox. Okay, so we are going to start this project, and we're going to try to make it in one part, although it may end up in two parts. It depends on how long it takes us. We're going to start off with the very worn, or the well-worn, well-used but not abused original leather strap. Okay, this is a 4-band strap. We're going to replace that with a brand new handle that we make here ourselves in the shop. So we're going to start this off by removing the bracket, the one bracket. Actually, we're going to remove both brackets so we can clean them up a bit. Alright, so we need to open up the tool chest to get to the inside, because there are nuts on the back side. Okay, so unfortunately we have a situation with this other screw. We can't get it off. Okay, it's stripped out. The head is stripped fairly well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Dremel tool and we're going to see if we can make waste. See if we can so we can get a regular standard screwdriver, you know, the flathead screwdriver in there. On this side, the screws are so stripped out that we can't get them out, so we're drilling the heads. We're taking the heads off with a drill. Okay, so we have the strap brackets removed. You can see they were very difficult to remove. Yeah, we had to cut them, drill them, all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, so we're going to continue removing hardware. The eyelet, the lock, the latch, looks like it's period correct. Looks like it might be an original. Okay, but the fact that it has non-period correct screws, that's all the hardware that's coming off. Basically, it was everything. It was up top here. These hinges, I've determined through some research that they appear to be period correct. They appear to be the correct hinges for this time period. I saw similar screws and hinges on other original units. Okay, so happy to report that these are staying on here. We're not even going to remove them. All right, so it's not like we're not going to be sanding this. Patina is 100 years old. It's absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. Yeah, we're not gonna touch it. Looking on the inside here, the nuts that are used here are square. Okay, so as far as the corner caps, okay, these are without a doubt period correct. The hardware, the screws, not sure what it is, frankly, but it's been there for a long time. It's not metallic. It's almost like very hardened paint. It's like a couple paint drips that weren't wiped off, which I'm good with. To me, it adds to the patina. Looking for any issues, I found one here. If you look very carefully, you can see a nail coming out of the side, and it split the wood. Okay, that's a problem. Alright, so what they must have done was somebody must have tried to do a repair on this some time ago, and took off this corner protector because that nail is underneath here. It's going in this direction, and they didn't nail it straight in. So these screw heads here are gunked up. All right, so they're full. So the screwdriver is not going to go in there. So we're going to just use an awl, and we are going to clean that out. Okay, so like I was saying, this screw on this end cap, corner cap, is worn down so much that the slot is gone. It's barely visible there, so we can't get a screwdriver to turn it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to tape off and protect the area. Okay, so we're going to get in there with our handy dandy Dremel light. There it is. Okay, so now that we have that corner cap off, the issue with, like I said, this nail coming out, protruding, and pushing this piece of the board out. While addressing that issue with this nail, where we remove the end cap, notice that there's a split here. Didn't really see it before. When the lid is closed and those nails were in there, I guess it was applying more pressure. But now that we see it closer, notice that this piece of wood, this end panel, is split in two pieces here. That's supposed to be one piece. The other side is one solid piece. Okay, so we don't want to replace this end panel because it's original. All the wood here is original. Okay, so now that we have both of those screws in there, I'm going to fill that in some wood filler. Get some good filler. And yeah, so that'll hide that nicely. Okay, so here's a little tip of the day. We take a piece of wood. And this is just broken off of just a firewood log piece that I had, scrap piece. Okay, so it's got the grain, obviously. I just damp it just a little bit. Just a little bit. That helps the wood filler to not stick to this piece and stay on the workpiece. So I literally just dab that on there. Okay. Alrighty, so we got that repaired. I mean, that dried overnight, 24 hours. This should be a rock solid repair. We're just going to remove the clamp. Okay, so as you can see, we repaired this section. We drew this nail out. We were able to push in this piece of the board, okay, back in. Okay, we glued that with some Gorilla. Okay, and so that'll be rock solid. Okay, so we're just going to put the corner cap back on. Alright, so now that we have the wood repair done, or wood repair completed, we're going to install or build and install a shelf, which I feel should have been here from day one. The majority of them have a shelf, and for our purposes I think we would want a shelf, because we want to separate the tools. Okay, so we are looking at a piece that is 32 3/8. Also have a front, call it a lip. Okay, I'm going to put that on there, so when this is in, the tools, whatnot, will not fall forward. Okay. Alright, so let's bring that shelf in. Let's see how it looks. I think it's a pretty good match for the color. Just going to darken it a little bit with heat gun. Alright, I think we got a pretty good match now. Yeah, almost the exact shade. Look at that. The existing box. Alright, so we got out our paints. I'm going to see if we can get a decent blend, color match for this 100-year-old wood here. I got this bottle here. Alright, and it's a railroad color, a brown. Pretty close. We're just going to give that a shot, see what happens. Yeah. Alright, so that match over here looks good. The shelf looks really good. Frankly, it's a matching type of vintage pine. Okay, it's a piece that was reclaimed, so it's really old as well. We got it to match with some stain, and you know, burning it a little bit, and then waxing it a little bit, and then buffing it out with a buffing wheel that had some dark wax on it, black wax. So we got it pretty good. Okay, we also put a divider in here. Okay, so we could have tools left and right, so they won't slide around. And yeah, Really nice. The door, okay, which is also a shelf, we need to have a stop, okay? So I've got this vintage piece of chain, okay, very old. Came off a unit that was about 100 years old, okay? So we're going to use this as the stop chain, okay? Okay, so we've got the box level, okay, so we can make sure that our shelf is level as well. This handle appears to be original. It's made out of 4 layers tied together by some sort of screws. You can see this screw here, nuts on the other side. Yeah, so okay, so we've got this vintage piece of hide that we are going to utilize to build a new handle. Okay, this piece of hide is somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 years old. We've used it for some other projects. Now we're going to utilize it for this one. Alright, so I took the leather strap apart. What this turns out to be is 2 separate pieces of leather. Okay, two straps that are basically an inch wide, a little bit more than an inch wide. Okay. Alright, there you go, before and after. Before, dried out, dry rotted, shot, old hardware. After, we got a vintage piece of leather. Okay, it matches perfectly. We've got new hardware. Okay, and what we did was we cleaned and blued the anchors. Okay, so we cleaned them and we hot blued them. Okay, and submerged in olive oil. All right, so at this point, we're just going to clean up the wood a little bit. Not much. We don't want any of this patina, really, any of it to disappear. But we do want to just clean it up and give it a fresh coat of wood protectant. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. Just going to hit it with a little bit of 15% super clean. This is a general purpose cleaner degreaser. Okay, we're just misting that on there. Just want to really just get the dirt and the residue off of there.